Hello, welcome to episode 75 of the Fisher Fitness Coaching Podcast. It's been so long, I've forgotten how to pronounce Fisher. It's been about 2 months now, I think, since I've done one of these. But anyway, here I am. Another episode. So I'm going to briefly chat about holidays and how to navigate your fat loss phase or fat loss goals around a holiday. And the reason I thought I'd do this is because I got throughout the summer a lot of questions from current clients, past clients as well, and just quite a few people on social media as well asking about how to manage a holiday really when you're trying to lose body fat. I've got someone who's just joined up, who's going away next week. He is starting a fat loss phase with me, and one of the first questions was, well, I'm going away next week, so is there much point in starting now? And my response is always going to be, well, yeah, because going away on holiday and knowing how to navigate around the holiday, it's going to be crucial to you and most people when it comes to successful fat loss and getting leaner, right? And getting through a fat loss phase while still being able to enjoy holidays and going away and having trips away, weekends, whatever. It doesn't have to be holidays, but it's all around the same sort of thing. So going away, weekends away, holidays, weeks off, whatever, Christmas, a break from the norm, I suppose. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a podcast on it because I think it will be helpful. I get it. I understand that holiday season is basically over, but it doesn't matter. You can always listen back. And people go away around autumn, Christmas, winter time anyway, don't they? So, anywho, and also I've just come back from a little trip myself, actually. So yeah, this is another main reason why I thought I'd mention it, because when I went away, I went to Italy for a few days, and I actually managed to lose weight. I came back lighter. And I know that body weight is not the be all or end all or anything. It's just an observation that I came back after a few days away without tracking, without really stressing about food at all, enjoying myself, eating what I wanted, and I came back, I think, 0.5 kilo lighter, which for some people, and for most people, that would have been, it's almost like unheard of. It's like, how can you go away on holiday and eat what you want without tracking and lose weight? Well, I will tell you how and what I did. This sort of subject, I'm gonna go into in more detail for my clients. I'm gonna record a webinar on this subject after this, actually. Just because I think it's useful. Like, my clients go away on holiday quite a lot, and the main stress is how can I go away and enjoy myself and not worry about putting on 10 pounds, and it's a very, very common worry or concern. So I will take some nuggets from that and then put it into this podcast, so it will help you out as well. It's like, I think the first thing to remember is it's not the holidays that ruins fat loss. It's a bad strategy. It's not having a strategy to try and follow and going into it with like an all or nothing mindset, which most people do. They go on holiday, they think, fuck it, I'm on holiday, I can eat and drink what I want, it's a holiday, I don't care anymore. But then they go in with that mindset and they literally eat and drink as much as they want, especially at an all-inclusive, because you've paid for it already, so you think, I'm going to get my money's worth. So that the whole being sensible just goes out the window. And if you go in with that mindset of, I've paid for this, I'm going to get my money's worth, fuck it, I'm on holiday, you're going to eat and drink as much as you physically can. And of course, then you're way more likely to gain weight and to undo the hard work that you've done leading up to the holiday. So that's the first thing. It's the mindset shift. It's the all or nothing mindset instead of being sensible. And like successfully navigating a fat loss phase without gaining weight, right? That's maintenance or minimal fat gain. It's not necessarily fat loss. I don't think you have to, in order to go on holiday and make it a success, you don't have to lose weight. You don't have to carry on losing body fat. You could quite easily maintain for a week or a few days. And even if you come back a little bit heavier, it doesn't matter. That's expected. The fact that I lost weight is pretty surprising. But well, when I tell you what I've done, it probably won't be surprising. But that's the first few things to think about. It's not, you don't have to lose weight for it to be a success. Going away for a week and enjoying yourself and coming back roughly the same weight is huge. It's a massive win in my book. All right, so I think that's the main thing. And by the way, there's no magical solution to this. Everything I say, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or oh yeah, I kind of knew that. So don't expect me to be like giving you this magical solution, which is going to enable you to eat as much as you want and drink as much as you want while laying on a sun lounger for 24 hours a day and then get home and be ripped. It doesn't work like that. All the same, obviously, hopefully you know about fat loss and how fat loss works now. So hopefully all these things will make sense, and it's common sense, really. It's nothing revolutionary, as I always say. So I think that the best way to start this is just to realize it will still come down to the amount of calories you consume over that week, plus the amount of energy you expend over that week. So if you are going away and you don't want to gain much body fat, then do you think it's a good idea to lay on the sun lounger all day, every day, drink beer all day, and eat 5, 6, 7 meals a day while snacking on ice cream and whatever else is there in the buffet, Probably not. If you're going to do that, you're very, very likely to gain weight unless you have some insane metabolism and amazing genetics. So that's the first thing, right? You still have to have that sort of calorie control, and you have to be somewhat active over the course of a few days or a week, because energy balance is still a thing. That's still, that doesn't switch off when you go away. Science still happens, unfortunately. So that's the first thing. The first and most important thing to think about is calorie control, controlling how many calories you are consuming in a day, and controlling how many calories you are burning. So your energy expenditure, your activity level throughout the day. So this is what I did over the 3 days I was away. I was away 3 days, but really I wasn't tracking for 5 days, because the 1 day out travel, 3 days away, and then the 5th day travel back, and I wasn't tracking for 5 days. I don't know. It sounds so stupid and simple when I say it, but I was sensible with my eating choices. I didn't track, but after tracking for a while, you have an idea of what or how much is in certain foods. So it's just about making better and sensible choices when you are away. That's the first thing. It's not like not having 3 chocolate croissants in the morning, followed by Wetherspoons fry up, followed by 3 pints of Guinness or 3 pints of beer in the bar before the flight. Things like that. For example, in the airport, I had a coffee. Did I have any food? I don't think I did. I think I ate before I left. I had a coffee at the airport. And then I got some food when I got to Genoa Airport. I got like I don't know what it was now. Oh, I got a protein bar. So yeah, exactly, protein bar. And then because I arrived late, I went straight to bed. So again, it wasn't my fault. But anyway, that day I didn't have much. I could have done, but I just didn't choose to. I thought, okay, I'm just going to go to bed. It's late, and I wake up and eat what I want. Anyway, the first day of the holiday, I gave myself like a 2 main meal rule where I woke up and I paid for breakfast, which is fairly cheap, and I loaded up on breakfast. I think I'm going to have what I want. I'm going to be very active throughout these 3 days because that's just what I do. I don't like just sitting around doing nothing. I planned out my trip. I knew what I was going to do, where I was going to go, and I knew I was going to be pretty active. And I went in with the mindset of I don't want to gain much weight because I've worked hard to get to where I am. I want to stay around where I am. I want to stay the same body weight, ideally. So I knew I had to be quite active. I knew I had to be quite sensible with food choices. So in the morning, I had my breakfast. I didn't care what I had. There was like bread, ham and cheese, yogurt, muesli. I had 4 boiled eggs, croissant. I mean, you name it. I had a lot. To the point where I was really full, and that was the whole point. I filled myself up. I took an apple from the buffet, put it in my bag, and then went about my day. And I walked a lot. I think I did about 40,000 steps each day. 30,000 on the first day, 40,000 on the second day, and about 20,000 on the third and final day. So I was very, very active, and I went for a hike, a very quite a challenging hike. If you haven't hiked before up a mountain, it's grueling. It's very, very tiring. It's very high intense cardio. So I was burning lots of energy. And like I said, I had lots of fuel from my breakfast, so I was full. And I got back, had my apple during the day as a bit of a snack. If I was around, some nice shops, some restaurants and stuff, and if I was hungry, I had a I don't know what it was called now, but it was delicious, whatever it was. Basically, I had like a small amount, like a light-ish lunch. I don't know if you can call bread soaked in oil with cheese light, but do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a massive meal. It was a fairly small lunch. So I had that, had my apple, and then I kept the lunch quite light. And in the evening, I had my sort of main meal. I think I ate out once. The other time I went to some really nice it was like a wrap, like a street food takeaway wrap place where I chose, you could choose your own filling. I had chicken, mozzarella, rocket, and like a yogurt garlic sauce sort of thing. Like tzatziki, but not. But it was delicious. It filled me up, and I got like a wrap with Nutella with it as well. So good. And it was so good. I had that for every evening because it was just delicious and it wasn't that expensive. So anyway, I could have gone out and had pizza and beer and ice cream and whatever. I just didn't really want to. I just didn't choose to. I did treat myself to a couple of ice creams during the day. Again, it was like either an ice cream or lunch. I didn't have both because, again, I'm just making sensible choices. I'm still enjoying the food I want. I wanted an ice cream, so I had an ice cream. I didn't have lunch and then an ice cream because I was just full. I wasn't that hungry. So again, this comes down to making better decisions. That's what it's about. It's being active, being as active as possible. I'm not saying you have to go and hike or climb up mountains and walk 40,000 steps every day. You don't have to do that, but that's just what I like doing. I like going around exploring new places, new cities, and I like traveling. I don't enjoy going to a all-inclusive hotel and just laying on a sun lounger all day. It just doesn't excite me. I get bored very, very easily. And that will inevitably lead to beer or alcohol, because let's be honest, who can sit there for 10 hours or lay there for 10 hours a day, going in the pool, back to the sun lounger, sober? Not many people, I don't think. Hence why people drink consistently throughout the day to make it, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But anyway, that's essentially what I did. I made sure that most of my meals were sort of high in protein, because protein helps you keep full. And I made sure I had some sort of vegetable, fruit base on there as well. I didn't have much vegetables. I actually had to go to the shop to buy myself like a salad to have with my wrap, just so I could have some more veggies. Because I was aware that I wasn't getting many vegetables in per day. So I had that as well, just to help with nutrition and just keep myself a bit more satiated. Why? Because that was my choice, and I was making sensible choices. So anyway, I'm going to go through some tactics you can use. That was my tactic I used, and I ended up losing 0.5 kilo, right? So I was very active, basically, and I was sensible with my choices. I had 2 main meals a day, kept it fairly high protein, allowed myself some nice, tasty food here and there. I didn't drink any alcohol. I had half a bottle of beer. I ordered it during my lunch, and then I think I got halfway through, just didn't want it, so I left it. So I barely drank any alcohol, which is a huge benefit if you want to reduce the amount of damage or potential weight gain throughout a holiday. Now, again, I'm not saying don't drink alcohol. I'm just saying it may be a good idea to massively reduce the amount of alcohol you consume on holiday if you want to come back from that holiday around the same weight. So anyway, the tactics. So 2 main meals, decent breakfast, light lunch, and enjoy a decent, a big dinner with the family or whatever. And try and have protein and veg on each meal you have. Load the plates up with lean protein and vegetables, or if you go to a restaurant, try and choose something which is protein-based and has lots of vegetables and, good stuff on there. Minimal dessert rule. So choose the desserts you actually want, not just because they're there. So if you have a buffet full of desserts, you don't have to have them all just because they're there. You have the one you want and enjoy it. I think a lot of people just go into these these holidays and be like, well, it's there, so I might as well have it. The beer's there, so I might as well drink it. It's all paid for, so I'm going to drink as much. So it's like, well, you do you. You can do that if you want to, but you're going to be very hungover the next day. You're going to feel like shit, and you're going to come back from holiday heavier and thinking, fuck, why did I do that? You're going to feel guilty, and then you're going to feel pissed off that you gained that weight. And do you know what I mean? It's just, it's common sense. Enjoy local food as well. Like, enjoy the authentic stuff. So you go to Italy, you go to Greece or whatever. Enjoy the food which is local to them. Not just the generic pizza and chips you can get at home, which is in a lot of hotels. Like, you can get that anywhere. Pizza and chips. Go for the authentic stuff. Nice Spanish food, local Greek, Italian, whatever it is. Wherever you go, try the local stuff. And opt to share once in a while as well. You don't have to eat everything on the plate. You can leave stuff. You can eat slower. And if you're full, or when you're full, you can stop eating. You can give it to someone else. And you can also share a plate of food with someone. You don't have to get a whole plate to yourself. Again, these things I'm telling you are just, it's very, very, it's common sense, right? It's nothing that revolutionary. A quick one on alcohol management, because I think alcohol management is a huge issue with weight gain, holiday weight gain. And it's fairly easy. I've mentioned it before. It's just, maybe don't drink continuously throughout the day, every day. It goes without saying, really. Like, keep it minimal. 2-3 drinks a day. It's your choice. You can have 2-3 drinks during the day or the evening. Up to you. Like I say, it's always your choice. You're in control of what you consume and how much you consume. And again, mentioned this already, walk everywhere. Like, sightseeing is cardio. Like, you don't have to get taxis, you don't have to get buses, you can walk. If you can walk. Try and do a couple of hotel workouts every morning in the gym if you can. It doesn't have to be long, 20, 30 minutes, supersets. You can do body weight stuff, push-ups into squats, lunges into pull-ups, whatever it is. If there's some dumbbells there, you can do loads of exercises with dumbbells. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it intense. It just starts your day off nicely. Just having a decent 2-3 workouts in a week, ideal. Be active, be the active tourist. Like I was, so go swimming, hike, snorkeling, cycle, walking. You don't have, getting up at 7 a.m. and rushing down. You see these videos on TikTok or Instagram. You see these people queuing up for a sun lounge at like 7 a.m. and running to these sun lounges with their towels and just laying there. So they wake up from the bed, go downstairs and lay down again on a hard plastic bench. It makes no sense to me at all. Anyway, that's just me. I get it. If you enjoy it, then great. If you enjoy that sort of relaxing, if that relaxes you, then go for it. It's just not for me. But remember, laying there all day it's not gonna help the situation. And that ties into like earning your. I don't like sort of saying earning, but having a nice evening meal and drink, after a sort of a long walk or a long day sightseeing or hiking or cycling, whatever, you feel like you've earned it. You're like, right, yeah, I've had a really good day today. I've seen this, I've done that, and I've walked a lot. I'm going to enjoy my evening meal. I'm going to enjoy dessert. I'm going to enjoy a few drinks. At least having a day out, keeping active is definitely going to ensure that you don't gain too much weight or body fat over the course of the holiday. So you're going to come home feeling refreshed. You're going to feel in control. You're going to feel great because you haven't undone all the hard work you've put in leading up to the holiday. So you can come back, you've maintained, awesome. And then get back onto it again. Get back onto track and get back to what you were doing before. And then you can just continue with your fat loss phase. Or if you finished it, you can move on to your maintenance. Or if you're moving on to a building phase, move on to building phase. So yeah, that's basically it. Long story short, in summary, be active and don't eat like a twat. Don't drink all the beer. Don't binge drink for a week. It's sensible stuff like that. Anyway, I will leave it there. Hope that helps. Any questions, please let me know. And any other ideas for podcast episodes, let me know. Because as you can probably tell, I'm running out of ideas. But if anything comes up, if I get a question asked from someone, if I think it'll make a good podcast episode, I will record it. I am looking to bring on one of my old clients, Nikki, to go through her journey with me and how she found it, what she achieved, what she initially struggled with. Basically ask her questions about it. And I think that'll be good because she got some really good results. So, that's it. If you are interested in coaching, if you are interested in joining the Peak Physique Project, which is my online coaching program where I help you go from where you are now into the best shape of your life, hence Peak Physique. We essentially go through 3 different stages or phases. Usually we start off with the Project Lean, where we work on shredding body fat, getting it nice and lean, defined, hopefully building some muscle as well in the process. And then we move on to Project Build, which is a building phase, and we spend, a good amount of time building muscle, getting stronger, working on performance without gaining much body fat. And then we move on to the final phase, which is Project Sustain, where we basically keep you where you are. we might even go on to the final project lean again for a few weeks just to tidy up, get you nice and lean, and then we'll just hold you there for forever, essentially. We'll basically build you a physique you're very proud of and you're happy with, and then you keep it forever. That's the whole point. So you'll build great habits along the way. You'll know exactly what you're doing and why. You have the right, you'll have the amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll have all the knowledge you need to enable you to go off and just do it on your own and just keep that physique you have worked hard to build for the rest of your days, which is a pretty cool feeling, without having to constantly yo-yo diet and go back and forth and second guess yourself and question everything you're doing. Is it right? Is it wrong? What am I doing? Should I change it? None of that. I'll take all the guesswork out for you. Anyway, so if you're keen, if you're interested, let me know. Just send me a message on Instagram and I'll get back to you ASAP. But yeah, thank you for listening as always, and I will speak to you very soon.